If it is not efficient, it is deficient. Okay, welcome to another episode of Self-Employed Success Secrets, Saturday edition. Today's episode, we're going to talk about how if you can't do a lot in a whole little bit of time, it ain't worth it. You got to be efficient. Success is efficient. Okay? If it's not efficient, it's deficient because it takes too much time. Because guess what? If you watch this video, you're probably going to live less than 80 years on this planet. And so because of that, you've got to make your efficacy efficient. If you don't know what efficacy means, go look it up. We're here to expand the mind. We want to enhance and expand everything good in your life in these videos. Okay? And these videos are people who are serious about moving up in the world through their self-employment venture, who don't want the same bullshit that everybody else has. Okay? People who see past the veil, who see on the other side of the door. Like, nah, I ain't trying to be here. I'm trying to be the ones who free, who live in life on their terms. Okay? Who are happy, who can express themselves at the company telling them how to live. Okay? But if you're going to do that, you got to be efficient. Okay? And whatever you're doing, every single process in your business needs to be efficient. It all works together into one big whole. Okay? When you talk with people for sales calls, it's got to be efficient. When you go meet with people, it's got to be efficient. When I meet with people, I say 40 minutes at most, 2/3 of an hour, because we ain't got that many hours in life. If you live to be exactly 100 years old, you have 876,000 hours on this planet. That's why working hourly is a scam, because you're almost guaranteeing yourself financial mediocrity if you work hourly. And it's very, very hard to hear this, okay? What you should do instead is work honorably. I made a video about that in the past, so you can go find that. But yes, if it's not efficient, it is deficient. Everything must be efficient. How you get work done is efficient. Like, for example, I'm an accountant. I have to submit reports and returns to people. What I do is when I do a tax return is I do it, then I check over it one time and I trust myself, and that's it, because I got to be efficient going to the next thing. You can't be spending, a bunch of time working on something that's very low value. It's like I heard a story about a guy, he's driving Uber and he wanted to become a millionaire doing Uber. And it's like, bro, that's stupid, because that's not efficient, because you'll make $1 million. It'll just take you 17 years to do it. You want something that's going to be able to get a lot done in a little bit. That's what being efficient is. It's using your resources in a very useful manner with very little to no waste. Okay? Meaning that this is what it takes, and we do that way every time. That's why you got to have systems like protocol. You've got to have procedures for how you do things. Nothing should be willy-nilly. Nothing should be subjective. All should be objective. Like I said, going to have meetings, it's 40 minutes. Okay, when I send an email, at most, it's 5 lines. Okay? When I'm talking to someone, I should talk. I'm really bad at this, but I should talk for 30 seconds and keep it at that. Okay? Like, for example, I don't seek clients. I reach out to one client a day now because it's inefficient to spend a whole bunch of time just calling people. I know enough people, I can just one person a day, 5 days a week, 261 times out of the year, I'll reach out to somebody. 261 times. I'm bound to get something. And guess what? It's efficient. I'm not losing. Okay? I'm cruising. And that's what I want you to do. But think about your business. How can you make it more efficient? How can you do more with less? That is what a business is at its depth. Is how can you do more with less? Everybody's doing it to you. Do it for everybody else. That fast food restaurant you go to that used to use a certain paper bag, they're like, this ain't efficient. Let's get a cheaper one. And I'm not saying efficient doesn't necessarily mean cheap, but it can. Okay? It's just basically, how can you do what you're doing better and faster? Okay? Because you only get so much time in life. It's hard. You can be really good at what you do, but if you're not efficient, it really isn't. You're not going to make that much money. You're not going to make the impact you want. And the only thing you should not be efficient, only 2 things in the world you should not be efficient with. It is your health, and it is your protracted interactions with other people. You cannot speed up your interactions with other people. Those are a slow burn, okay? But in terms of the mechanical work, if you've been doing something 100 times and it takes you 100 whatever takes you whatever, you should be truncating the amount of time it takes to do things that you do over and over again. Okay, you got to have processes where if someone asks you your prices, you can just be like, bam, bam, bam. You're like, oh, let me send it to you. You should know these things by heart. Everything should be built to be efficient, because if it's not efficient, it is deficient, and success is efficient. Success is efficient. Okay. Look at any company that's successful, any company in the world, they're efficient. They can do a lot in a little bit of time because that's what life demands of everybody. If you're going to have a good, happy, fulfilling life, you've got to be able to get a lot, this much done in this much time. And that means being efficient. Okay. So think about it. Every part of your business needs to be efficient, because if it's not, it's deficient. See you in the next video. And deficient means not good. It's not good enough. It's not going to get you where you want to go. Bye.